So Tina, how's your day going?
Pretty good. I think we're
I don't think I've told you this before, but this lemonade is just out of this world.
Oh, really?
It's absolutely stellar. Wait, what did you say? Are we rolling?
Yeah.
oh dearie. Hello, my name is Ian Bacchus.
Oh, I'm Tina Wong.
Today we're going to tell you about a cult named following under the rule of Meher Baba. We're going to give you an overview of his somewhat interesting life. We're going to show you some interviews with former cult members. We're going to compare some of his actions to Seal Dinny's principles.
Also, in this half an hour, quarter of an hour, we will present our investigation where we try to remove someone from this cult.
Dear Lord, some hefty lemonade.
First is Meher Baba's life.
Now, young Merwin, at the ripe age of 19, was visited by a holy woman in his class, and she chose him to become the next avatar, and from then on, he became known as Meher Baba.
I know who the new savior will be. You!
Nah! Disgusted with the functions of society, Meher Baba chose to protest through silence.
Been thinking over the years, and I've realized that because man has been deaf to the principles and precepts laid down by God in the past, in this present avataric form, I observe silence. When I relieve the tide of truth which I have come to give, men's daily lives will be the living precept. The words I have not spoken will come to life in them.
Meher Baba promised one day to end his silence, and in doing so, bring order from chaos. The genius of this is that people would wait just a little bit longer, just be around to hear him say these mystical words that would bring this divine order. Unfortunately, this time never came. For 4 long decades, Meher Baba practiced silence, and ultimately he died. What a letdown. Now, let's take a listen to one of Meher Baba's infamous speeches. Oh yeah! I can totally relate to that! Totally righteous! That answers all of my questions! Holy God! I had no idea you were Jesus Christ!
Hello, my name is Alex. I used to be a wealthy man before I joined Meher Baba's cult. He said he was the second coming of Christ, and he also said he was an avatar, but he lied, and he wasn't.
I'm Ning Ning, and I used to be homeless before Meher Baba found me. I lived on the streets and I had some bad habits. So Meher Baba became my symbol for hope that there could be a better world in the future.
Through Meher Baba's lies, he created this air of authority through which people were forced to comply with his desires. Normally, people wouldn't have followed some mute lunatic, but under these pretenses that he was the reincarnation of Christ himself, people trusted him with their very lives.
In addition to making mass presentations, he approached recruits on a more personal level and came down to their level. What? To meet their needs.
And here we have Ning Ning in her natural habitat, moments before she's recruited into the cult of Meher Baba.
You caught me at a bad time. You want me to join your not cult group? You know the meaning of life? You say that I can change my ways? Should I come? Yes, I want to come.
Another victim to the cult.
He told me that I could live a better life somewhere with him, and that I could become drug-free and follow his ways and promote world peace.
He manipulated us.
Through donations from his wealthier members, he created sanctuaries that were essentially compounds with housing, drug help, medical centers for his Mandalis or his followers.
Now, we're standing outside the village of Meher Baba, where he takes the members of his cult and shows them how to live his way. The homeless and mentally infirm are taken here to do God knows what. Maybe they're converted in sadistic ways.
Oh my gosh, thank you, sir. This place is awesome.
I believed what he said, so I donated lots of money and land. Now I have nothing.
He didn't ask for anything in return except that we would be obedient and follow his ways, and that we would advocate world peace and beg for food.
Meher Baba provided homeless and mentally infirm people with shelters, a place to rest their warm bodies in the cold, or, in the case of India, from the heat. People wanted to give back to this seemingly selfless man. They would often throw donations at him, and, much to his avail, they would give him his devotion in an air of reciprocity.
Although Meher Baba provided a sanctuary for his followers, life was still difficult because materialism was not desired, and so begging for food was necessary for survival. And they always needed to be happy, or they would be kicked out. Please help. We're hungry.
Anything helps.
I want food. He told us to give up our possessions and beg for food, and in return, he said we would have world peace. But that never happened.
And here we see the cult members taking a bus tour. Yeah, peace!
And love!
Woo!
No money!
Starving!
Begging for food!
Oh, yeah.
He manipulated us into getting other people to join our cult.
We traveled all around the world, off different continents, Asia, Europe, North America, advocating world peace and trying to bring people into Meher Baba's belief that all religions should be integrated into one whole super religion. He promised that he would bring world peace, and I believe that through his spiritual work he has truly done that.
Hi, I'm Tina Wong, and as an investigative reporter, I went undercover to see how people in the Meher Baba cult acted, lived, and try to get one of them, or some of them, out of the cult and back into normal life. So through research, we found that Meher Baba likes to recruit from the poor and the homeless and the desperate. So to infiltrate his cult, I acted as someone that would be a recruit. And through that, I saw his cult from the inside. What I saw was he was very influential. His ideals were so pure. He seemed pure to everyone that they just believed him, and he had such good ideals that it was easy to follow him. However, the way he lived his life was difficult for many people, but because his ideals were pure, they stayed on. I remember hardships, and I became close with one of the girls, Ning Ning, that I would later work to remove from the cult. And she thought he was the savior because he took her from this horrible situation and made it better. Yeah. After I infiltrated the cult, I became close friends with several of the members, especially Ning Ning here, and we decided that she needed to be pulled out of this manipulative environment and put back into real life. So this is how I convinced her, because Meher Baba was manipulative and he was preying on her confusion and the fact that she was needing help. And but I helped her understand that there were other alternatives to not being homeless and staying away from drugs. And we realized together while we were in the cult that he would never deliver on his promises, and he said he would break his silence, but he never did.
He just carried on year after year, saying that next year will be the time that I speak and bring world peace, but that never happened.
So by helping break through these manipulative techniques, we were able to break away from the cult itself and come back into real life.
I never knew that there was another way to quit drugs besides joining a cult like this, but now that I know that there are other alternatives, I'm a lot happier in the real world.